Hey guys, in this What's Unique About This Unique video, I want to talk about Null's Inclination bob, how it works after changes, and some ideas for a build. There is one or maybe two people who keep asking me to do Null's Inclination build every league for the last couple of years, and I think I will soon make a build with it for clear speed, but right now I'm making another minion build. So let's take a look at the bob. All bobs normally require only dexterity, but this one also requires over 200 intelligence, which also changes socket color rolls, making it much easier to roll blue colors, which you will most likely need. This bob has been introduced 6 years ago and basically has not changed since then, but in 3.14 League it got changed a bit. It now has minions deal 1% increased damage per 5 dexterity rather than 10. Trigger a socketed minion spell on kill with this weapon. Minion spells triggered by this item have 0.25 second cooldown with 5 uses. If you are using multiple minion spell gems inside it, you will trigger it in order from top to bottom. If you look at 6 linked item, that is basically your gem order. You can trigger spells that have minion tags but do not summon anything, like Dark Pact or Absolution. Well, Absolution does summon. So here's an example. If you socket summon skeletons first, then Dark Pact, then with one kill you will summon skeletons and then cast Dark Pact on skeletons. But if you socket Dark Pact first and then skeletons, then on kill you will use Dark Pact on yourself and then summon skeletons, which is probably not what you want. This last line and its wording really confused me, especially if you look at the buff icon bar. Essentially 5 uses mean you can only trigger up to 5 minion spells per kill if you socket 5 minion gems, or if you only socket 1 minion gem and get 5 kills at the same time. That 0.25 second is how fast it recovers those uses. The number in the top left corner indicates how many uses you have out of 5. And not the amount of minions that you summon. Strangely, having 5 of the same minions are gonna show 5 separate icons. But the combined maximum amount of minions for that skill is still gonna be the same. So you're not gonna be able to summon like 100 summon raging spirits. It's still gonna be 20. So an example, if you kill 10 enemies in a pack and have 5 minion gems socketed, then you trigger those 5 minion gems, but that only leaves 1 support gem socket for damage inside the bow. And if you use 1 minion gem inside it and kill 10 enemies at the same time, you still trigger minion gems 5 times, but now you have 5 more support gem sockets for damage. For minions that have low minion count, like skeletons, which you naturally can summon up to 4 at a time, you may not want more than 1 gem inside above, but for spells like Dark Pact you may want multiple Dark Pact gems inside it. Now here are some other testing results. Reaper, you can only have 1. And Reaper's skills have a couple seconds cooldown, so you can trigger Reaper only once every couple of seconds and cause current Reaper to use her ultimate dash skill, instead of summoning a new Reaper. Also, Reaper's skills will not have 5 charges because you can only have 1 Reaper minion. And since you can only have 1 Reaper, you can fill other sockets with support gems for Reaper or something else. You can trigger Absolution spell, which has a chance on a hit to summon Absolution minion. You can only have 3 Absolution minions, but having 25% chance to summon minion on a hit makes it a bit awkward, and you may want multiple Absolution gems for this setup. Although against big enemy pack you will probably have enough chance to summon 3 minions. For Spectres you probably don't want it, because it will keep summoning new random Spectres and they won't have chance to even attack enemies. Blink Arrow and Mirror Arrow gems inside bob do nothing, they are not spells. Also Blink or Mirror Arrow clones kills will not count, will not trigger this weapon since minions do not hold gems inside their weapon. Animate weapons could be interesting, but you have to rely on enemies dropping either white weapons or identified weapons. And golems have long cooldown, so it wouldn't be very practical, I guess. Now, when it comes to build ideas, there are many, but all of them rely on kill, and you have to kill with that bob damage. Secondary effects like explosive arrow explosions will not work. Gravebind gloves that make all kills in small radius around you count as your kills also will not help, because once again need to do a kill with that weapon. So I guess most obvious build and most used in the past is Dark Pact. Trigger high level skeletons with many Dark Pacts. Since you only need 1 kill for this setup, it also works rather well for bossing when using Gritting Jar to spawn some worms. There were a couple so-called Worm Blaster builds in the past, and those are the least interesting for me. I was thinking more of a hybrid build, where you actually do decent damage with both attacks and in addition summon your army. While testing I was using summoned Raging Spirits and it seemed pretty cool, since they can help clear out leftover enemies. Or maybe having one Reaper minion running along with you, either debuffing enemies or helping with bosses. You could either socket Reaper inside above and auto command head to do ultimate dash, but for bosses you would still need to either use Writhing Jar or Wall Breach, which spawns lots of enemies including breach bosses, so it could be dangerous. Or you could socket Reaper in body armor or helmet and just spawn some temporary minions to help a bit with clear speed or to feed Reaper. Another idea is to use utility things like Flash Offering and other offerings or Convocation to summon your minions to you, but that alone sounds like a waste. Besides, there is a unique helmet which triggers socketed spells when you attack with a bow, which could be combined with this bow, but in the end you still need to kill with this bow to trigger gems inside it. Since it has 1% increased minion damage per 5 dexterity, you could stack some dexterity. Even 500 dexterity gives you 100% increased minion damage and then use Spiritual Aid passive, making increased minion damage affect you. Or also Spiritual Command passive, making increases to minion attack speed also affect you. There are a couple other items that scale well with dexterity. Garukan's Flight Boots give +2 to maximum life per 10 dexterity, which isn't that great if you are only stacking 500 dexterity, but they also have flat dexterity. I have not done dexterity stacking builds, so I don't have more examples of what you could use for dexterity stacking. If you have some ideas for dexterity stacking build and you are experienced with that, let us know in the comments below. The buff itself does not have a lot of damage, but with the help of Scourge modifiers, it could reach over 400 DPS, however scaling physical heals and possibly elemental damage could be tricky. You could scale all damage with critical multiplier, but you still need to take care of monster resistances. There is Elemental Penetration Support Gem and Elemental Weakness Hex. There is the Admiral Body Armor or Shroud of Lightless, or even Abhorrent Interrogation Gloves, which applies Wither stacks that increase heals damage taken, and in this case also elemental damage taken from your hits for each Wither on enemy. But then your hits cannot penetrate or ignore elemental resistances, however you can still lower it with other debuffs. So as you can see, there are a lot of build ideas and I am eager to try and make a build around it, mostly for clear speed. Right now I am making a zombie build for bossing, so after that build I will want clear speed build again. If you got more ideas on how you would build around this buff, leave them in the comments below, as long as it is not Dark Pack build or a build relying on 20 billion worms. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one.